Okay, okay. I
Much
don't know
better.
why I was nervous. I was like, I didn't had 2 radio shows. I didn't had a YouTube show. Like, girl, what was nervous
This
about? But I was
is
so
my
nervous
first
to go
time,
ahead.
so you know I'm nervous. I don't speak. I don't do no public speaking, y'all.
It's all right. We're gonna get through it. We're talking to each other. We have these conversations all the time. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's gonna be as if we're talking to each other with just some people listening in. So we can jump right on in because I feel like we have a lot to cover and I don't want
Right.
us to go into talking 2-3 hours in because I know we can go
Right.
there. Um, so first, I just kind of want to just kind of welcome everybody that's here. I know a few more people probably will be joining. And I just really want to talk about how I even came about. Well, first of all, my nonprofit, Women Blessed Women, let's talk about that first. How I came about even producing Pretty and Protected and coming up with Pretty and Protected. So I always enjoyed shooting a firearm, shooting a gun. It's always been exciting for me since I could remember like the first time I did it. And so, of course, when I want to say it probably was around 2019, 2020, when the crime rate started getting super crazy. Well, it was more noticeable, more
Okay.
local, I guess I can say, where it was,
Right.
at the malls, they were saying like men were coming up or they were robbing women, and then it became recent where there's a lot of bums that they're saying that's out here that's attacking women and killing. I just heard of some women that got killed from this. So I just think it's super important to really get our women in a space where they become comfortable. First of all, become
Right.
comfortable even just being around a gun or being around guns, and then also learning not just how to use them but the safety behind them,
Right.
how to actually operate them, and also how to help them show their families and teach their families as well. So when I first came across Aisha's page, it was crazy because I want to say, I think it was Lanique with Mad Diva. You worked with her before, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and I believe I saw on her page that you guys were working together, and I was like, this is interesting. So I did a little bit of research, reached out to you, and anytime I feel that something is beneficial, even for myself, I always want to share with my nonprofit. So I was like, this
Right.
is dope. Let's try to do something. Let me put something together for Women Blessing Women, to get them more involved. And I reached out to my friend Mika Means. I don't know if she's on here, but I was like, hey, I'm trying to come up with this thing and I need a name. What can it be called? And we just went back and forth, and Pretty and Protected just dropped. So that's really where Pretty and Protected developed. But I want this to be something, well, it is going to be something huge. I really want us to be able to reach out and help as many women. I'm glad, Lou, that you're here, because although the purpose is to get women involved and to get women comfortable and teach them and their families, we really need the support of our men. And so,
Right.
having you around, having you here, it also will bring more men and get more men involved and wanting to help us, because it's a thing. Women, really don't shoot guns. They don't pick up guns. They don't own guns. So that's where the whole Pretty and Protected thing is. You don't have to, be super like manly to operate a gun. You can still be cute. I have my nails and I'm in the range with my nails shooting. So you can
Man,
still be cute.
them nails get on my nerves when I'm training women.
I
I hate them nails.
I
They
know.
get
We're
in the
not gonna
way.
take the nails off for the
They ain't
Yeah,
gun.
going
We're gonna
nowhere.
keep it working.
They
yeah.
ain't
I've
going
learned
nowhere.
to work with the ladies though with the nails. I just have to do a woosah and then
Right.
I can help them. But them nails get on my nerves, man.
But we still shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
still
yeah,
aim
yeah.
and we still
No,
get it,
you
right?
guys,
We still hit the target.
overall, women. I don't know what it is. I think I don't know why it is, but women generally when they're in the range have
Yeah.
better aim than men.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
And they're
I've never
also
heard that one before.
more willing to listen
that's
properly
right.
Gotcha.
and
Hmm.
not have this masculine type of energy. Because I've had a lot of women who have trained with men and they can't do it. They would rather have a woman, or really a woman to train, and there's not a lot of women. But we'll get into that. But you know, that's just how it has been. Women are a lot better in the range than men are.
It's probably too, it reminds me of like, you know, like when you teaching a new kid something because they don't know, they're not aware of it, you can actually, they're teachable. But when you got somebody like a man who like, no, I got this, dog, like you ain't got, you know, it's different. But as women, we coming in there and we're like, no, show me. I want you to show me. You know, we're paying attention. I want to learn. I want to learn how to properly load my gun. I want to learn how to properly, you know, put it in safety. I want to know how properly, where to keep it, how to lock it up, how to actually aim. So in 2021, that was when we had our event at the end of 2021. Wow.
Yeah.
We had maybe like 10 women come out, and what we're doing between partnering Women Blessing Women, partnering with Ashmar Firearms, we're coming together and we are putting together these workshops where you have your classroom training. So Aisha and Lou, they both come together and they teach you, you know, classroom training. Then we go out and actually go shoot our guns at the range, inside the range. So it's a dope experience. So really fast, Aisha, I want you to kind of tell them a little bit more about firearms training, and then we can kind of go into questions and stories and that type of stuff.
Okay, well, back in 2020, I started Ashmar Firearms training, and it was just more of just a love for firearms. I'll give you a scenario. I went into what's the store in Torrance? What's the store in Torrance?
I forgot the name. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? I went in there one time and I was trying to buy a gun and they were looking at me like crazy. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's just a woman buying a gun. It's not a big thing.
Right.
You don't see a lot of women purchasing firearms. And if they do, it's either they got it from a boyfriend or a husband or, you know, a family member. And it's just like, for some reason, I just fell in love with protecting myself.
Yeah.
And then Lou, like I said, we've known each other 20 plus years, and we started a Black-owned gun club. And, you know, it started off good, and then it kind of sort of disbanded. And then me and Lou, we kept going to the range. I would be like, hey, Lou, you want to go? He'll be like, hey, Aisha, you want to go? And we just kept going. And when I started this training, I said, you know what? The only person I could really think who actually have a love other than myself is Lou. There's a lot of men who don't like firearms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't touch them. It's just a stigma because when you think of a firearm, a lot of people think you got felonies or you got misdemeanors or you got all of these type of things on your background and you can't have a firearm. That is not the case.
Right.
And I was like, I'm protecting myself. I don't care if I have a man. I don't care if I have whatever. I'm going to protect myself at all costs. I'm always out at the gas station or wherever I'm at. And I'm just like, dudes coming up to me, trying to holler and talk. And I'm like, I don't want all that.
Right.
I got to feel safe wherever I'm at.
I just saw, not to cut you off though, but because you just said that, I just saw on Facebook, one of my friends, I think I was telling you this, she was recording as she was going into a store. So she was going into a store, I think it was like Marshall's or something, and some guy was trying to holler at her. I think it was a white guy trying to holler at her or saying something to her. Her son was still in the car. She has a teenage son. And so when she came out the store, she said something about how he had kind of parked closer to her car. And so she's recording as she get in the car. He's walking up to her car. He's talking to her. And she's telling him, like, you know, like, basically, like, leave me alone. Like, I'm okay. Leave me alone. And he was still approaching her. And he got up to her car. Then he looked and he said, oh. And she was like, yeah, this is my son. So he saw that she had a male figure with her. I don't know what he was attempting to do. I don't think she fully knows, but just scenarios like that, in cases like that, if she was alone, you know, and if he was attempting to do something, then what? And she don't know how to protect herself. You know what I mean?
Right. It would be her up against a man, and we don't have the strength that men have.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
You know, we're at a loss when we are by ourselves and we don't have a male either in the car or either walking in the mall or wherever we're going. So you've got to feel protected anywhere you go. You should always make sure you feel some type of safety.
Yeah.
And that's not always
that's not always the case, but what I usually recommend women, even I I have an 18-year-old daughter, and I help her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not with guns because she's not mentally ready for that part, but she has mace,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a another weapon I gave her as a parent,
Mm-hmm.
where she know how to take it out and get the jabbing.
Right.
And I told her, you don't worry about going to jail, because once they call me and tell me, hey, she tried to protect herself, I'm gonna come get you.
Have her
You know,
back.
it's not
Right.
it's not to be used for play. It's to be used to protect yourself. So she knows that.
Right.
And me, I recommend every woman at least carry bear mace on them at all times.
Yeah.
For that reason right there that you just said, a man walking up on her like that, at that point, she had the right to at least mace his butt.
Yeah.
And once she did that, he was going to go away. At least she has something.
Yeah.
But most women don't have anything. And that's what
And
is
we
the bad
need to protect it. Although when we partner with Aisha and Ashmar and partner with you, Lou, yes, our focus is firearms, but Pretty and Protected is not just for firearms. You know, we want to eventually, and we will get to the point where we are touching on different subjects and having different workshops, you know, to show you how to protect yourself in different ways. So firearms is, of course, where we are starting, but we definitely, like you said, it's very important to have other things. You know, if you don't have access to a firearm, if you don't have your CCW, which we'll talk about later, you know, if you don't have these things to properly carry a firearm and use a firearm, then yes, you want to have, you know, those other tools
I also
ready.
recommend women having a small bat in their car, in between the seat. That not the big bats, but they have a small one about this big that you can buy, and it's a great thing you can just grab if somebody and just let them have it. But you should have something. If you have nothing, that's the problem. Something is better than nothing.
Right. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't step to me.
Right.
You can't step to me and nothing happen.
And just to piggyback off of that, I ask women sometimes, I'm like, you know, you may be home alone, husband may be at work, boyfriend may be at work, and someone comes into your home. What is your line of defense? Mm-hmm. Most of them say, I don't know. You know, most of them are they thinking about going to the kitchen to get the knife? Most of them aren't. Right. It's like, what is your first line of defense? It's not the police. It's going to take them. We see it happens all day long. That the young lady who husband was running his car into the house. It took the sheriff's 30 minutes to get there.
It sure did.
So you know, it's just like, what is your first line of defense? And firearms are not to be used improperly. They are to be used when you have imminent threat. Mm-hmm. Someone is trying to take your life. Mm-hmm.
Repeat that statement. Imminent
threat. You only can use that firearm in imminent threat. So it has to be threat against my life, your life, for you to use that firearm. Right. Now, if someone comes into your home, you have all the right in the world to do what you need to do.
Right.
They are coming into your home. Now, if they're on my front lawn, I can't do anything. I just got to call the police and tell them to get off, you know. But if they come inside of my home, I have the right to do what I need to do.
They could be stealing your catalytic converter on your car.
You can't do anything.
If you go out there and shoot them and the police do an investigation, you're going to jail for manslaughter. Mm-hmm. And those are a lot of things that people don't realize and know about the responsibilities, because they don't take time to first learn the laws and the rules of having it. Because once you get it, it brings a certain power over you as a person. Mm-hmm. You know that a lot of people I don't think are ready for. Like, you have to be in the right state of mind. You have to understand your responsibilities as a gun owner. So it's not just feeling invincible, because there are people out there that if you pull a gun and you don't know how to use it, they can take it from you and turn it around on you. So you need to understand a lot of the rules of
And
gun
having.
ownership.
that's where Ashmar comes in. You know, this is why we are doing these workshops and partnering, because we don't know the rules, we don't know the laws, and that's why we have it where it's classroom and activity, because we have to learn these things. You can't just go out, like you said, you can't just go out and shoot a gun. You can't just pick up a gun and be like, oh, I got it, I'm ready. Like, nah, dog,
Yeah.
go chill.
Right.
Wait a minute. And so, but now, even speaking on this and speaking on, since we're now talking about, you know, being home, and if someone comes into your home, it's a subject that I feel a lot of people are not comfortable speaking on, and that's the children. I believe that your children should be trained and understand and know how to properly use a firearm. I'm not saying that they should have one next to their bed and have one in their closet and have access to it, but I believe in situations that, you know, your children at a certain age should know how to. Like, what do you guys think about that?
I think you have to know your child. You just can't put it in any child's hand. I know I have a daughter and she's of age. She does not like firearms. And it's something that, you know, I try to get her into just to make sure she's protecting herself, but it's not something that she will be using no time soon. So she does have mace. And those are things that we talk about. But you just have to know your child. And I know in the other cultures, they start their kids with firearms at the age of like 6 all the way up. So they basically grow into, you know, a child, and they know what their parents are doing. When they are going outside in the backyard, firing and shooting, they're right there watching them. So they're picking up all that information. Our kids are not really doing that. And that's why, you know, we have, you know, the things that we're trying to do, and trying to even bring the young ladies and young boys into the classroom with us. We had one, Toya, her daughter came, and
I was gonna say,
she was like
Toya
16 years old, and she could fire better than all of us probably, because she's been doing it with her dad for a long time. So, you know, I'm encouraging the young girls, the 14. I think the age should be about, with our culture, is about probably 14 if they're interested, as high as probably 16.
Okay.
I noticed that it's different areas of the United States. So Southern life is different. The gun culture is different in Southern life versus the West Coast life. So the West Coast life is a little laid back, you know, there's not a lot of space to backyard to go shoot a gun, and we just didn't deal with it on that level growing up as children from our parents. How I got exposure at a young age was I would go back to Louisiana and Texas during the summers, and my nephews and nieces, uncles, they'd be in the back shooting squirrels and all kind of rabbits and all kind of stuff. I would go out of town. I was like, what y'all doing back here? Like, you know, and they put a gun in my hand at about 12, you know, and told me, and then I shot a rifle at that age, and that was like one of the best summers. And since then, I would go back and I would shoot frequently.
And see, I didn't start shooting till I was grown. You know, I didn't start till I was an adult, because, to be honest, the only time I saw somebody with a gun was the niggas on the street, you know, like that,
doing something they shouldn't have been doing.
That was what I associated guns with. Was you were a gang member, or, you know, you were a robber, or that's all I associated. But that was where I grew up at. That's what was, you know, like you said, it's different in the country. They're actually teaching their kids the safety behind it and how to, you know, operate. So
most of my friends who have families in like Atlanta, North Carolina, the wife and the children, they said they start them at around 11, 12 to get familiar with the firearm. So that's how they get their children started early, understanding and learning. They also do it because if mommy can't get to the gun, or if daddy can't get to the gun,
I'm next in line.
They know how to go in, take it out, load it, and protect mommy or daddy if they can't get right.
Yeah. And that was my purpose. You know, I was thinking of the scenarios like, you know, somebody coming in the house and, you know, got your mom, you got to come and protect. I don't know. Like, I was just trying to think of different scenarios that a child may step in. And again, I think it's a touchy subject, especially out in this area, because it's like, no, you shouldn't expose your child to this. You shouldn't have them doing this. It's not safe. But I feel too, you know, again, like you said, Aisha, you got to know your child. And I think too, it also depends on how you are, like how you have it, if you have your stuff safe. Because if your kid is going to be able to get to your gun, regardless if they know how to operate or not, they're going to be able to get to it. You're supposed to be able to protect them in that sense, you know, make sure it's locked up, it's put away, make sure, you know, those things are in place so that the child won't be in an unsafe situation. So
correct. And then, you know, if things that we see across the country, we see the kids getting to the firearms and the parents not even knowing that the kid even knows that they have a gun. You know, so it's different scenarios that's happening across the country. We're not seeing it a lot in Los Angeles, California, but a lot in the East Coast region and the South. We're seeing, you know, the kids are getting to these firearms because they're not being stored properly. And that's a lot of things that we talk about in the classroom instruction is the safety aspect and the safety mechanics that you can use for the firearms to make sure the kids are not getting to these firearms. And that's something that we want to continue talking about in the classroom setting, is about storing your firearm and making sure you're safe, they're safe, and everyone else in the house is safe at specific times.
That's key. It's safety and storage.
Safety's number one.
I agree. Okay, well, we can kind of switch it up a little bit. I know a lot of people want to know about the CCW and other certifications that's out there. From what we were told back in maybe a few years ago, that it's harder in LA County than most counties or most areas in most states to get your CCW. I'm actually, you know, in the process of working towards that way. I'm excited about that. But to just to share a little bit about me, no, a lot of people don't know, this is probably my first time telling a lot of people, but towards the end of 2021, I was dealing with a stalker. So it was to the point where I wanted and needed to carry mine, but I didn't have the proper permit or license to carry. So that is something that really is pushing me now towards like, no, you actually need to make sure that you get that, especially me promoting this and, you know, sharing this with women. I want to make sure that I'm also walking in these footsteps as well. But the CCW.
So I'm currently going through it now. I'm glad I sent my CCW application in when I did. Right now,
before you start, for those that don't know, the CCW is the make sure I'm saying the right,
concealed carry weapon.
Okay, just for whoever listening don't know what CCW is. It's for you to actually carry your weapon with you.
So depending on so depending on if you're governed by LAPD or LA Sheriff, there's same process, but one is longer than the other. So I am governed by LAPD, and I actually spoke to someone yesterday, and just to give you an idea of how far they're out, they're on application 547 of 1900.
Wow.
And my application number is 1048.
Wow.
And this is
so they told
LAPD.
This is the LAPD.
Okay.
First, I had sent my application in to the sheriff. When they looked up my zip code and everything, I got a call, and they said, "Hey, Mr. Rawls, I got some bad news. You know, you're in LAPD's governed areas. You have to send it to them." Same application, same process. LA Sheriff is a little more on it versus LAPD. I believe LAPD is kind of dragging their feet on purpose, but I'm still going to go through it. So they told me I probably wouldn't receive a call till maybe in the summer. Just to get
I'm thinking next year.
I had a friend who just told me that it took her a year for the first part. That was she. I guess
Really?
she said it was a year before she got. I don't know if it's LAPD or the sheriff. This is actually my first time even knowing that there's a difference.
Yeah.
You know that it depends on. Yeah, I didn't know that.
There's a difference.
So, okay.
And
go ahead.
and they had me on the list. They had my money order. They had my application log. But they told me it's gonna be a while before you get the phone call. I asked them, should I go get my live scan? They said no. They told me, we have your information. We'll call you and give you the next instructions. You just gotta wait. So LA right now, if anybody else sends their application in, they're probably a 2-year out from a phone call to get the actual process started. On the LAPD side. LA Sheriff side is a little more
it's streamlined.
Way better. Because I got a call back within 90 days of sending my application in. Yeah. And I had to resend it to the LAPD.
Because you had sent it to the sheriff.
Yeah, because I had sent it to the sheriff. Yeah.
I just need to move to Orange County. Ain't it easier in Orange County? Like, what?
Orange County is easy. Ventura County, all those other counties are way more easier. The thing about it is, if you know someone in Orange County, Ventura County, or in one of these other counties, if you could actually use their address to change your California driver's license to their address, then you could do it. Now, the only thing,
don't they come to the house or something?
No, only thing is you will have to have a bill that's coming out there. So that's the thing. It's like you got to have people in your business, and you really don't want to do that.
And usually they want to see the same address where your gun is also registered
to.
So right. So if you registered your gun originally when you purchased it at such and such address, and now you're trying to go over here and do this, and you got to go over here and do this. When they do the background check, it's going to throw up some red flags because it's going to say, so what are you trying to do? So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because those serial numbers of your gun go on the application itself. Right. And because they're gonna that serial number is gonna come up in the background check when you bought the gun. So they're gonna pull out that information.
Yeah.
And
so what's the process to getting the certification? Is it like, it's a 3-step process, and the first step actually takes like the longest? Once you get over that hump, then the next 2 steps is kind of like easy breezy, or like what does that look like for someone?
So if you go with the sheriffs, I turned my application in October 21, and I got a call back in March of 22. A couple months. All you have to do is basically, the first thing I would say for anyone is take the firearms training course. If you take the course, you'll get a certificate.
Right.
Then you print out your application at home, fill it out, get your money order, $25, $35. I think it's somewhere around there, $35.
Okay.
Then you have that. Then you send your application in down to either the sheriff's or the LAPD. And then you will wait for the call back. What I did was I went ahead and took my fingerprints, right? I took my fingerprints, sent the application in, then they called me back for the interview. The interview is only, for the sheriffs, is 15 minutes. 15-minute interview. Ask you your name, where you live, you give them your your driver's license, and you take a copy of your bill, which they already have that, right? They already have that in the packet. So you're going to send your application, I think a light bill or gas bill, copy of your driver's license, the firearms training certificate.
Right.
I think that's pretty much it of the forms. And
it online, they have it online. So you can go online to the sheriff. They have a whole section that explains to you how much you need to send in, how much, who you make the money order out to, what you need to send in at the specific time, the breakdown of how the money, each section of how much money you're going to have to spend on each part. It's all broken down. Really good. You just got to go through the long process.
Yeah. So in short, it's driver's license, copy of your birth certificate, a utility bill, and if it's in your spouse's name, you send proof of military, all those documents. So it's only 4 documents that you need.
Okay.
Copyright, driver's license. That's it.
Well, this
firearms training.
I was going to say this is something that we will show them and teach them through the training that we're offering.
Okay.
So this is something that we can show and we can actually get them through the steps. Like if anyone is interested. So, because that's something that is offered through Ashmar, and that is something that we also is partnering and putting together with Pretty and Protected. So
I think the next time when we do the training, what we should do is try to get a projector and connect our computer to the projector,
Okay.
so we can show the steps and show the websites, show where people can go, because visuals is better. Yeah, visuals is much better when you're doing these type of things than telling a person to go to the website, because they can actually see it for themselves. And maybe what we can do is we can, as a courtesy, print the applications off depending on how many students, just so they can see it, and all that type of stuff, and then give them the address where they can take the training course.
Well, if anyone is interested, we are planning to have another Pretty and Protected event workshop on February 12th.
Yes.
So if anyone is interested, anyone who's on now, you can go to my website, which is womenblessedwomen.org, and put in your email address, and we will send out more details once we have everything together. So
are you guys going to have at the same place?
We are.
It's going to be
okay.
Insight.
Yeah.
Insight. And is that for
Artesia?
Artesia.
Is it Artesia?
I think that's considered Artesia City. Artesia.
Yeah.
Cerritos,
it's
something
borderline
right there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's the best place to have it, because I've been to other ranges, and that range has the most room I've ever seen in an indoor range. That's roomy, where you're not on top of each other.
Yeah.
When you're training people.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, and so what I want to do too. Me and Aisha been talking about is also, because we're going to do more of these throughout the year. So we have some dates set aside, but also get into outdoor ranges.
Yes.
So that we can actually,
kind of spread out a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be probably closer to when it starts warming up a little bit.
So I have a question. When was the last time you've been to the range since we had the training?
That was the last time I've been. I know.
What?
I know.
Okay.
It's crazy. So Shira's probably gonna hear my friend Shira. We literally been saying that we want to go like at least once a month or once every month, because we need to get out. We need to start shooting. So we're on this journey. We was like 2023. We ain't playing games. We gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Me and Aisha, I asked the question because me and Aisha want to mention on this that you have to be very consistent when learning and getting familiar with your firearm.
Yes.
You cannot go once a year. It's not going to work. Because if something does happen, God forbid, you're really going to be nervous, and because your adrenaline is going to be pumping, and you have to be able to be very, very sound, think straight, to be able to know what to do when danger comes towards you.
Because once the danger comes towards you, you gotta go tell that same story of exactly word for word of what happened. So we've always recommend going to the range at least once a month. I know it's hard because it's cold now, and we got lives and things like that, kids and everything. But even if you need someone to pull you to the range, pull me to the range.
You know what I mean? In my head, and
I saw what you wrote.
So you've been trying to pull me.
Let's hold everyone. Let's hold each other accountable. Just going to the range, even if it's 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And just getting out there.
And ladies, if you guys can go spend all that money for brunch on Sundays, okay. Y'all can go to the range. Y'all can go to the range.
It's just $25.
It's $25.
You can be in there for at least an hour and a half, no more than an hour. That will get you what you need.
Yeah.
And it's important because going back to women not being comfortable around them, women not, understanding how to operate them. So you're right.
And that's
we got to get out there.
I think when the women come out with us, like when we had our first range, that they were happy. They were ready to go. A lot of them was already comfortable with firearms.
Yes.
We want to bring in the new people who haven't used firearms,
Yes.
and get them acclimated. Because once you have it and you can use it, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing is safety. After that is loading. After that is shooting. And after that is safety. Taking it home and storing it back. That's it.
Yeah.
It's really nothing to a firearm other than being safe. You always have to be safe. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you sprinkle that rotation and consistency of going to the range at least once a month. And you got to just think of it like you're going to shoot money down the drain, but it's the money that you're spending on the bullets and all that type of stuff is to protect
How
you.
much money we spend on cologne? And
Well,
you spending $300-$500 on cologne that you spraying it down the drain.
Yeah, I like to say that because owning a firearm is expensive.
Yeah.
Bullets are expensive. Yeah. The upkeep, you got to clean it. You got to make sure it's this, and it gets rusty, which you use it so many times. Bullets are. I mean, when you go to the range, you're gonna shoot maybe 100 rounds.
But you know what? We waste everything else. We're wasting water. We're wasting food. We wasting everything. So this is something that will help you in your safety. And I think this is something that is mandatory, especially with us as women, women that live alone, women that live with husbands and boyfriends. It is mandatory that you are protecting yourselves, because something could happen to him. What are you going to do? What's the first line of defense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know we touched on that in our last classroom training. We were talking about putting together something where maybe, I don't know, was it that you would go out to certain homes, or that we would let them bring their families so that we can kind of touch on like safety within the homes and having a emergency type of plan if something was to happen.
Yeah, we talked about that. And I actually suggested that in the last class me and Aisha did that, the wives and the husbands sit down and come up with a exit plan or an emergency exit of how to get out, where the kids should go, what room to bunker down in, just in case something happens. I know a friend of mine that lives in Atlanta. They have like firearms hidden throughout the house in hidden chambers that when they put their finger on there, it opens up. Wow. And the wives know where, because they stay in a pretty big house.
That's normal. I mean, they have that. Even I've seen it on Instagram where you can have like a picture and you hit it with your fingerprint and it just opens up. The firearm is right there and you can do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. So it's some people are real serious about making sure their family and home is safe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I feel like we all need to be serious about it. So, I'm definitely serious this year. I definitely want to, push this whole movement even further. Me and Aisha was talking about also, connecting with other organizations, other programs, other groups across the country, because in other states, like, for example, there may be someone right now that may be on this live that want to come and be a part of our workshop, but they may not be in LA. They may not be local. So we want to be able to also have resources for them in other states and other areas that they can reach out to also get this same type of support and training. Because this year, we're gonna be serious about this.
Yeah.
Well, I would ask Isha all the time. I said, "What happened to the lady?" She's like, "Well, they gotta call me,
Life kind of sort of takes over sometimes. I know we all working other jobs, and this is our second. And this year we're gonna really push it. So let's all just stay focused, keep communications open, and let's just try to make our second range day a success, and hopefully we bring out new people, new incoming women.
I actually have a few ladies who was a friend of mine I was talking to today.
Okay.
She was in an abusive relationship, so she just got out of it and wants to learn how to protect herself, and she has several other her friends that want to learn too. So I'm gonna send them your way.
Have them come, and
so they can get set up.
Even if they can't get to this one, you know, like I said, we have more that we are going to do throughout the year. Even from just posting the flyer of this and, you know, sending out e-blasts, I was getting a lot of feedback as well. There's a lot of ladies that's been waiting from the first one that we did. It's a lot of ladies that have been asking questions, a lot of ladies that's interested. So I definitely want to make sure that we are continuing, you know, to do so.
I believe if we could be consistent with it, at least do a class every other month if possible, or every 3 months, and maybe do a live a little more often to keep people informed. I believe a lot more women the word will spread faster, and it can grow into something big by the end of the year where we're having, you know, 20, 30 people a class that's coming to train, because once they come once, they're gonna want to do it again. Because what I can tell is that women are more comfortable when it's at least other women around that are learning at the same pace.
Right.
You know, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But this year, for sure. So our plan is to do it every other month. That is the plan.
That's the plan.
And what we're going to do is we are going to start sending out more information. That's why I say anybody who's interested, you want to head over to womenblessingwomen.org website, put in your email address. We'll make sure we start sending out that information. I don't know if anybody have like stories or something that they want to share, but I know that I've come across and I talked to, you know, especially with this nonprofit, so many different women. So I know that there's a long list of women that's waiting for this. So,
yeah, we just got to get more participation from the women, and just bring them out. Anybody, don't be scared to come out. Don't be scared to go to her website, go to my website.
And even if they don't have a gun, they still can come.
Even if you don't have a gun, still put your information out there, because that's the purpose of this, so that we can assist you in even to the point of purchasing your own firearm. So
exactly.
I mean, literally, if you're thinking like, what's those books they used to have, like something for dummies, or just think of this like you really, if you don't know anything about firearms, don't be scared. Right. If you never touched one before, if you never stood or was by one before, don't be afraid. Like that's what the purpose of this is for, so that we can help you overcome and get over that, so that you
because between me and Aisha, they can use one of ours to train with.
Yeah. And you can also rent one at the range, so it doesn't matter.
One too. Yeah.
Question: have y'all ever worked with anyone that was deaf in trying to train them?
No.
Okay. No. Okay. It was a question. It's something that I'm working on.
Usually a person that is deaf, if you speak to them slowly, where they can read, they are very intellectually smart.
Yes.
They can read your lips. And if you show them one-on-one what to do off, they can pick it up. You know, so don't be scared to bring them. Sometimes they can watch, sometimes they can look. The only thing that would probably be difficult is them being in the classroom listening to the instruction. Right. But out on the range, I don't think they would have a problem.
Right, because they have the ear guards anyway. So
yeah, so it would be more of the classroom part where we would have to figure out for them to listen to that.
Facilitate.
I was wondering if you guys ever worked with someone before. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, usually a person that's deaf is smarter than me, so I don't.
Oh yeah. And like you said, definitely. I have a friend that's deaf, and she is damn near a genius to me, because she can build websites, and she helped me with certain like digital products and stuff I have to do. She actually developed websites. She's into, you know, web development and programming and all those things. So that's another subject though. But I was wondering, because we definitely I do have some women involved with Women Blessing Women who are deaf. who, you know, have suffered from a lot of different, you know, situations. Many deaf people.
Oh, somebody just
I suggest looking into basic.
correct me. Nope.
Okay. Well, definitely we will, you know, have
Thank
that.
you.
I know my friend, she's great at reading lips. I know all deaf people do not. But I know that there are some that can read lips. But if we were to bring them into the classroom structure, we definitely will have someone there to translate for them.
Okay.
Perfect.
So thank you for that. All right. Well, I mean, anything else y'all want to share about firearms, and anybody have any questions? I didn't see any questions on here.
Somebody earlier asked about the chapter, and Aisha
I think that
said,
was one of our members from the other chapter that we had started. The chapter is done. Don't worry about that. But in this, what we're doing now, we're accepting men and women. So it doesn't matter if we're only structured for women, we're structured for men as well. So we're not discriminating.
And we're pretty and protected, although it's under Women Blessing Women. And yes, we do focus in our organization. We do focus on women with Pretty and Protected. Understand, Women Blessing Women is my nonprofit organization. Pretty and Protected is a program under Women Blessing Women. Ashmar Firearms Training is Aisha's. Aisha Renee, she's the founder, she's the CEO of that. So we came together, and Lou works with Aisha. So we all came together and partnered to put this. So although I have Women Blessing Women Pretty and Protected, and I'm like women, as you guys see, Lou is here. And as you guys heard us say earlier, we also want to help, you know, the kids, the girls, the young boys, and also any men. That's why I'm glad I actually saw a lot of men joining tonight, which I
did too.
Yes.
I did too.
So I appreciate
seen more men than women join.
Exactly.
I've been paying attention
tonight.
I've been paying attention.
Yes.
I've been seeing more men join.
Yes. But if the men want to get involved as well, you guys are welcome to. You can head over to the website too and put in your email, and we'll send you information. Because we are coming together. Like I said, the goal for Pretty and Protected for me is to get women more comfortable, but we need our men's support. We need our men help. And even if as a man, if you are not comfortable, don't be ashamed. You know, that's what we are here for, to help everybody.
Right. Next time, let's pin our websites or our Instagrams.
Oh yeah.
Since we're on our personal pages.
Yeah. We're gonna get it together next time. I'm about to actually go to one of my younger cousins.
You can go to our bios and see our Instagrams for our companies. Let's do this again.
Because the youngsters be having a whole list of stuff down here for you to do. All kind of instructions.
It be like all the instructions, like step 1, click here, go. I'm like trying to learn I was even trying to learn how to start it. I'm like, okay, we got it started. So let's see the chat. I couldn't hardly read. I had to put my glasses on.
Older women who are frightened of guns more comfortable. Come out.
Come out.
You got to come out. The only way you get over a fear, unless you do it. You have to do it.
You have to do it.
Go to our go to our bios and our Instagrams. We have our companies there. You can go to Women Blessing Women. Women Women.
We actually had our last class had a few older ladies where I think the daughters brought their moms, or if I'm not mistaken.
About to say, because Jess, I don't know, she may be speaking of her mom, but I was just gonna say I wanted to, and we may still do something Mother's Day where it's a mother-daughters thing, so that you can bring your mom. And I feel like when you bring your mom, that she may be more comfortable because she's doing it with you, you know, as a mother-daughter activity. Yeah. So it may be something that they may be open to doing.
We can also do a senior event,
that would be good.
where it's maybe we pick an age 55 and older or something like that. Come out, and we teach them.
Yes.
I like.
Yeah, you know, and put them all in their same environment.
And you know what? To say that, a lot of the older women, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They can handle that firearm. I had a woman that was like 88, and she could handle that firearm. She just had arthritis, but other than that, she can handle that firearm.
But you got to understand too, if they 70 and 80, they were rocking with the King era. So they done probably been with some Black Panthers or something. They done probably hung out with some OGs, you know, you don't even know about. That's how they can fire them guns like that. Because back then, if a lot of women, if they didn't migrate to the West Coast, they was in the South. So they're more familiar with guns even then than now. Yeah.
Because if you ask my mom, she'll be like, your daddy taught me how to hold it and how to.
Exactly.
Well, that's good. Your mom has been in that. My mom hasn't. She is afraid of guns. So it's just, you know, everybody's different.
My mom was against it. Well, she said that my dad had taught her how to hold it and, you know, how to aim or whatever, but she was against it at first. When I first was like, I'm getting a gun, I want a gun. She was like, why? That's stupid. Why do you want a gun? That's just dumb. And so once I started explaining to her, and then once she started seeing more and more of, and actually paying attention, being aware of the violent acts that she's seeing against like women and all this stuff, then she's like, okay, now I understand. So she's all in now, but at first she was like, that doesn't even make sense. Why do you have it?
I think the thing about it is like Black mothers and Black people in general, they're just against guns because it's like, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's only dangerous if you don't know how to use it. That's just like we get in cars every day. The car is dangerous as well. If you don't know how to use that car, it will be a danger.
Yep. That's what it is. And it goes back to what I was saying too. Us, you know, growing up in the neighborhoods that we grew up in, we only saw it with the gang bangers and the robbers and, you know, the drug dealers. They had guns, but
my father was a gun owner back in the day, and he didn't show me anything about him. He didn't show me or talk to me about it until we got back down south. We didn't. He just never. We just never.
Our parents don't talk to us. Even, you know, our parents don't talk to us about guns. They just be like, "Don't touch it." You know, they don't. But these are the things that we need to be talking about with our kids. And if they let us know that they are not interested, if they're not interested, then they're not. You know, but we need to get more and more people and, you know, children that are potentially interested. It's dangerous if you don't have one. It is dangerous if you don't have one. And if you don't know how to use it as well.
At a CCW, if you don't have it, you can get it.
But if we could get everybody their CCW, I think this would be a lot. This would be a lot for people. They would be like, oh, okay, well, nobody's messing with me. You know, but you know how to use it, you know, when to use it and when not to.
So our goal with this partnership, our goals, plural, with this partnership is to definitely hold more workshops. Like we said, we're going to try to push them out every other month. We want to get everyone involved. We want to get everyone certified with their permit. And we want to connect with other organizations and programs in other states and stuff across the country. And just keep growing, keep building, keep teaching.
I think a good day is the start is the 12th. It's earlier in the year. You can kick it off really good, and then say February, March, April, probably around April, do another one.
That was our plan.
April, do another one. And then go from there. And I think also having something to where we invite the older ladies out.
Yes, I wrote that down. When you said it, I wrote that down to do a class. So I haven't
do a class, and let's get them out.
That would be good. Mother's Day. That would be a good day for the mothers to come out. You know,
if Mother's Day, the day don't work, at least the weekend before.
But, you know,
we want to do it the day of. We definitely want to do it the day of. And even if we do something for Mother's Day, where we were saying like the mother and the daughter, we'll still do something for the seniors. You know, we can still do something where it's just for them as well. We don't have to choose, you know, between both. We can do both.
Okay.
We can figure it out.
Because I believe they will come out.
Well, I'm excited. I want to thank everybody for joining. Like I said, it's crazy because I definitely saw more men here than women.
Wow.
But I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate everybody for joining. I'm sure I'm gonna get more questions
Yeah, you will.
throughout this, so I will keep
I
y'all
think
in the loop.
if we start doing it and consistently doing it's gonna become bigger
Yeah.
as
Me
we.
too. That's why we need you, because you gotta stay
You,
on top of us. Like, get
you
y'all
know,
life together. What y'all
told
doing?
East, I told East, I said I'm disappointed in them.
I know.
They had me
I know.
all pumped up. We was gonna do all this stuff,
I
and
know.
then they just fade away. Only time I see EJ is she at the club doing this.
That was only for my birthday.
She at the club.
That
You
was
know
only
what
for
I'm
my
saying?
birthday. No, last year was crazy for me. Last year was like a crazy transition where I even had to put like everything on hold. I didn't do my annual Thanksgiving dinner shopping spree that I do for my single
Okay.
moms. Like, I literally had to put everything on hold and just kind of focus on me. So that was
Well,
what
yeah.
it was, but I'm ready. I was like, God, let's go. 2023, even though it don't feel like it's 2023 yet, I feel like I'm still in last year, but I'm still working. I'm still moving.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
time.
this year is
Definitely
going
time.
by slow so far, and I'm cool with the pace,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't need to be
I need it to be
fast.
slow. I need it to be
Yeah,
slow.
same here.
So for sure. Like I said, I have the calendar. I think I shared a document with y'all that have like some dates on there. So let's do it. Thank you, cousin. He's very proud of me. But let's do it,
All
y'all.
right. So
Okay.
let's
If
see you
whoever
guys
just
again.
joined, if y'all didn't hear, go to womenblessingwomen.org, put your email address in. We will be sending out some information. Save the date, February 12th. That's a Sunday, I believe. Sunday, February 12th. Inside shooting range in Artesia. We will give you more information on how you can register and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the 12th is a Sunday.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's Sunday. Make sure y'all follow Women Blessing Women. Make sure y'all follow Ashmar Fires Training.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
we got to put all that down at the bottom
Just go
because
to our
We gotta just
bio.
pin
Go
you
to
that
our
next
bio,
time.
like Aisha
know,
said. It's in all our bios.
Right.
yeah, we got to put all that at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do
So
this
yeah,
again, y'all. Let's do this again. Keep
And
it
we will be
moving.
doing more
Yeah.
lives. So be on the
you know what
lookout.
else? You know what else? I'm thinking too. What we can do when we do the training on the 12th,
Mm-hmm.
we can go live on the training.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well that'd be good.
Okay.
We can do it from, say, for instance, your nonprofit point of
Mm-hmm.
view,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just send it to us after. But I think that we got to make use of this social. We got to get like the youngsters and just go live all the
That's
time.
why
I
I said I'm
mean,
gonna bring my little cousin in so that she can show us how to do this,
yes,
so we
bring
can
her.
have it
Yes,
right.
Right.
We may even
yes,
start doing Zoom calls to where we got like multiple people coming in and joining and all that stuff. We're
yeah.
gonna
No,
get
that
together. We just
yeah.
gotta get us somebody young on the team
On the
and we good.
Right.
team that know how
Right.
to work it, because
Right.
man, this is a whole nother
Right.
job.
I know.
That's what I said. That's why it takes me forever to post because I'm like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Y'all the content creators. I'm not gonna do no
Ooh,
content.
I ain't no content creator. I'm trying. I am trying, but we're gonna get it together. This is the first start. This is a good start.
Right.
Yeah, it was a good start.
Yeah, this is a good start. So beginning of the year,
Okay.
All right.
y'all are welcome.
All
I
right.
see everybody saying thank you. Y'all welcome, and I
Yeah,
hope
you're
to see
welcome. Yeah.
y'all on the 12th.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
All
thank y'all
right.
so
Thank
much.
you.
You're
See you guys
welcome.
later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.